Alright, YouTube, so I was about to go to bed, and then this thing popped up. I just could not help but respond to this before the weekend, because I just didn't want to wait all weekend while I'm at work to respond to this on Monday. But no, I just couldn't help this. But so in the midst of, Ron DeSantis, the right-wing authoritarian governor of Florida, being the, neocon piece of shit that he is, the same guy that he's always been, always needing a distraction for every little problem that he has. He recently went after a drag show and is now going after suing drag as opposed to condemning neo-Nazis that have come out. So, yeah, okay, so it's just like, okay, Ron DeSantis basically is refusing to call neo-Nazis, but he's more offended by people in drag than neo-Nazis. Yeah, that's how pathetic Ron DeSantis is. Well, now The View responded with regards to an incident about this or other incidences like this, but of course The View does it in the worst possible way, because the establishment jackasses at The View, that when they talk about information, they just make it worse because they don't have all of the information and they just literally make it up as they're going along. So Jimmy Dore actually put this out, and The View was forced to apologize for calling conservative groups Nazis. Exhibit A.
What do you call it? This Turning Point conference. Neo-Nazis were in the front out there in front of the conference with anti-Semitic slurs, and the Nazi swastika and a picture of a so-called Jewish person with exaggerated features, just like Goebbels did in the Hitler during the Third Reich. It's the same thing.
I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. And also, you'll hear Jimmy also talk about this, too, because this is a video from the Jimmy Dore show.
So, it seems like they were conflating the protesters with the students, right? And so later in the show, they made this announcement.
Oh, okay, so you have to read this thing.
Oh, I've got a legal note. The conservative group...
Sunny normally does this, but...
I know.
Yes.
This is our knockoff lawyer.
Okay.
I have a legal note about information that I don't know anything about.
The conservative group, Turning Point USA, has condemned the group of neo-Nazis and said they have nothing to do with the organization.
Yeah, but where was DeSantis is what I want to know.
It wasn't Ron DeSantis wasn't even there. And I swear to God that this is the type of shit that makes me so mad, because it's like, you literally are going to make me have to say that, well, listen, Ron DeSantis wasn't there when those neo-Nazis were rallying. I mean, yes, the dude should be more focused on that than be focused on, quote-unquote, critical race theory and drag queens and shit like that. I mean, yes, I despise Ron DeSantis with every fucking fiber of my being. I hate the neocon piece of shit. I cannot fucking stand him, but it's like, when you idiots talk about this, you hurt my cause on criticizing Ron DeSantis worse than anybody, because when you come out there and you say this shit, like, oh, right, and then when you literally just blow it out of proportion and you like pull the strings on the issues, you're not getting all of your information correct to begin with. So, again, you're hurting my cause on criticizing him. So, if you don't have anything useful to add to the argument, then get out of the way. Like, bitch, get out the way.
DeSantis was there the day before.
The day before, exactly.
So she's still... So Joy Behar, so where was DeSantis? Because he spoke there. Why did DeSantis do something about the Nazis? Well, he wasn't there that day. He was there the day before. But anyway, watch what Whoopi says.
It's literally ridiculous when in that one scenario I have to defend Ron DeSantis. It's like, do you fucking idiots at The View have any idea? Like, well, y'all should know who we're dealing with here. I mean, we're dealing with The View. I mean, Whoopi Goldberg said the Holocaust wasn't about race, got suspended for 2 weeks over it, and, I mean, these are the people, I mean, again, these are the people that we're dealing with here. I mean, come on now. and, you know, calling for Tulsi Gabbard to be locked up because she's a Russian puppet and a Russian traitor because, God forbid, she's not parroting the same war narrative on the Russia-Ukraine war. Anna Navarro was saying now, Joe Behar was saying, oh, she's not going to be welcome in the United States much longer. Whoopi Goldberg said, they used to arrest people for this type of thing. Yeah, this is who we're dealing with. And when she says shit like this, it's just like, oh my God, you're literally going to do this. And it's like, I don't want to defend Ron DeSantis, but I have to in this scenario because you say stupid shit.
You let them in.
President, open your
You let them in and you knew what they were.
Right.
So you are complicit. We'll be right back.
The fuck? Like what does this whole, like, group about Turning Point USA have to do with Ron DeSantis? Again, I can't stress it enough. I despise the right-wing authoritarian asshole with every fiber of my being. But again, saying that he is complicit with this thing is utter bullshit. So again, you're hurting my cause and other lefties' causes, criticizing DeSantis, when we have actual information on the topic, versus you that just blows the shit way out of proportion.
So she said that those kids, the young conservative students who were at their convention, let in the Nazis, and that they were complicit with Nazis. She's talking about kids. She's talking about students.
She's literally talking about young students that, God forbid, just happen to be a little more conservative. Oh my God. See, this is how bad The View is. The View does this type of shit. And it's like, you're not doing anything to help us, dipshits. You're not fucking helping us. Helping us in actually criticizing Ron DeSantis for real information, for real things that he has done, really bad things that he has done, being a warmonger, interfering with the affairs of other countries, bitching and moaning about people who are more left-wing than him, calling them communists and socialists, and slandering his critics and throwing mud and smearing all of his critics, and wanting to start a Cold War with Georgia if Georgia elects Stacey Abrams as their governor and blah, 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 blah. Okay? So when we come out to criticize Ron DeSantis for the piece of shit that he is, we can make it a legitimate criticism. You just said that Ron DeSantis was complicit with a bunch of young neo-Nazis. That's literally what Whoopi Goldberg said. So we all want to criticize Ron DeSantis. We can acknowledge he's a disgusting human being. He's more Trumpian than Trump at this point. But when we want to criticize him, and then Whoopi Goldberg throws stuff up by saying he's complicit with Nazis, you're not fucking helping us, dipshit. You're not fucking helping us.
Now, they've done this to you before.
And this is why I love Jimmy Dore, because he calls out the bullshit on both sides. I don't care what people say. Jimmy Dore is awesome. Well, I think a lot of you who watch this channel know that, but just for the record.
They've done this to you before.
They sure have.
That was her blaming those kids. And then they come back from the commercial and she has to say this.
Clarification about the neo-Nazis at the Turning Point event. They were outside protesters. My point was more metaphorical, that you embraced them at your thing.
And, you know, okay. Nobody wants neo-Nazis anywhere. They're disgusting human beings. You know, the January 6 people that Trump incited, the Charlottesville neo-Nazis that ran people over in Charlottesville, Virginia, also incited by Trump. We don't want them anywhere, but as disgusting and as horrible as we are, we have freedom of speech in this country, so it is hard to suppress them or suppress their views or hold them or on any particular charges for a crime because, you know, the First Amendment. So all Whoopi Goldberg is just going to sit here in front of the camera and bark shit about stuff that she doesn't know and make herself look like an ass because that's all she does and that's what she does best.
So they were not in the building.
They were not in the building. Well, Whoopi, in your building, something's not right.
You know what? It's the so-called Antifa.
So she wouldn't let it go. She's saying you embrace them. What made her think that? I don't know. But that's what, so even after it was pointed out that they rejected and denounced those Nazis out in front of their convention, Whoopi Goldberg still said no. She said you let them in. And yet she said you still embrace them. And now Joy Behar makes the most asinine point. I think I might have been, listen to this.
No, but you know what? You know what? If it's so,
You know, when Jimmy was reversing that clip back, they made more sense in reverse as opposed to forward. That's how stupid they are.
called Antifa, who are anti-fascist, that's what Antifa stands for.
And they're known for committing blatant acts of violence. They're just as bad as neo-Nazis. They're literally far leftists who are so extreme in their own ways that they resort to rioting and committing violence in the streets. Yeah, there's evidence of it, dipshits. Don't try to deny it.
Would go there and protest.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Of course they'll deny it.
Then
Because they're the view and they're the establishment.
Antifa would get a bad reputation.
Their reputation precedes them, Joy. Shut the fuck up, honey. Where the fuck have you been?
That's why when I hear that Antifa is
Right, but that's not.
What does that have to do with that? I don't even know what she's talking. And then they would get a bad reputation.
They already have a bad reputation. They've had a bad reputation since, I don't know, ever.
What? I don't know what she's mean. If they went there, they would get a bad reputation. What? So Whoopi takes it over again, and here she goes.
But let me just make sure that everybody, because misunderstanding what people say is very big.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I like how she says that, and they all act like other people do that instead of them. Here we go.
Because they haven't smeared their critics before, like Tulsi Gabbard and people who are on the Jimmy Dore and Gray Zone crowd, and in my crowd as well, because we don't tout the war narrative on Russia and Ukraine and the establishment narrative that they do. But okay, you know.
We want to make sure I know they were not in the building, but they were in the mix of people at the thing.
You know how bad.
What are you saying, Whoopi? In the mix, and moving your hands around, trying to think that you are making a valid point. You're not making a valid point, honey. You're not making a valid point, bitch. You're not fucking helping. And again, doing this and like that's okay. Again, I'm Italian, so I tend to talk like this. You know, you all have seen me do this in my videos probably 100 times already. But the way Whoopi's doing it, like, they were not in the building. Okay, it's like Whoopi. That doesn't help your case. You still have no valid point whatsoever.
What? They weren't in, if you do this.
Yeah.
They were doing this? They were in the mix of people outside the event. So then they were going to Turning Point USA said that this starts trending, they're going to sue them. So Turning Point USA, that's an update. The View has issued yet another formal correction. Here we go.
Sorry.
So on Monday, we talked about the fact that there were openly neo-Nazi demonstrators outside the Florida Student Action Summit of the Turning Point USA group. We want to make clear that these demonstrators were gathered outside the event and
we just want to acknowledge that we fucked up, but the damage is already done. But we still want to sit here with our shit-eating grins and admit that we fucked up.
they were not invited or endorsed by Turning Point USA. A Turning Point USA spokesman said the group, quote, 100% condemns those ideologies, and said Turning Point USA
wacky, waitable, inflatable, at the View.
Security tried to remove the neo-Nazis from the area, but could not because they were on public property. Also, Turning Point USA wanted us to clarify that this was a Turning Point USA summit and not a Republican Party event. So we apologize for anything we said that may have been unclear on these points.
You mean unclear as in exaggerated, if not overblown and blown way out of proportion, or better yet, completely and totally untrue? And, oh yeah, the View's favorite word, misinformation.
They still invited Matt Gaetz, though, I would just like to know.
Sorry. So on Monday, we talked about the fact...
They still invited Matt Gaetz. Like, what the fuck? They just can't let it go.
They can't let it go because they got nothing else.
So it got even worse. And then then Whoopi had to give another apology. So this would be like the fifth apology. So watch this.
Welcome back. In Monday's conversation about Turning Point USA, I put the young people at the conference in the same category as the protesters outside. And I don't like it when people make assumptions about me, and it's not any better when I make assumptions about other people.
Yeah, Whoopi. Jewish people also don't like when assumptions are made about them as well. Oh, kind of like what you did about the Holocaust, saying that the Holocaust wasn't about race and that you got suspended for 2 weeks. Yeah, I think Jewish people feel the same way, but whatever, honey, whatever floats your boat, whatever makes you sleep better at night.
Which I did. So my
Yeah, you did, and including on the Holocaust, but okay.
bad. I'm sorry. Okay. So the state.
And that was it.
I mean, this is what the View has to say. This is what the View has to. This is literally what the View has to offer. The View just, they can't report things properly. They can't just acknowledge that, okay, this is a conservative group of Turning Point USA and Ron DeSantis is inciting these people. Okay, there's a lot of shit that Ron DeSantis has incited in Florida and elsewhere that is fucked up. Okay, there's plenty of it. Oh yes, I've covered stories about neo-Nazis that Ron DeSantis has refused to condemn because he's a piece of shit. He's a neo-fascist himself. I don't deny that. I despise the neo-fascist warmonger with every fiber of my being. His interference in Colombia, his interference with Georgia, his interference with other liberal states, his interference with LGBT rights, him being a hypocrite, him calling Cuba and Venezuela authoritarian when he himself is authoritarian, violating LGBT rights, just like all the other Republicans do. The other Republican politicians, 90% of them in this country, kind of like Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Dan Mulescamp, and others. Need I go on? Okay, so there's all sorts of things to criticize him for, but when Whoopi Goldberg and others say stupid shit like this is what hurts my cause, and then it's just like, well, I have to even roll it back and even have to defend Ron DeSantis in this one scenario that he wasn't at this event, so he couldn't have been infiltrated with these neo-Nazis when he wasn't even fucking there. Again, these people hurt my cause more than anybody because now you got these people saying, oh, Zach, you're going to sit there and defend Ron DeSantis? Like, yeah, you're going to sit there and defend him or whatever? No, I'm not defending him. And I will never defend him. I will never defend him at all. But when Whoopi Goldberg and other establishment neoliberals say shit like this, then yeah, I really don't have a choice because it's about the actual information and it's about having principles and about what's actually true. Okay, and we can actually make it a legitimate criticism. DeSantis is a piece of shit. He's obnoxious. He's an obnoxious fucking prick. Okay? I hate the obnoxious authoritarian cocksucker. I fucking hate him. I fucking despise him. I think I've said that 1,000,000 times already. But the things that Whoopi Goldberg and the View are saying doesn't help the case against DeSantis. This is the type of shit that emboldens these people because you people can't get it right. Just like the neoliberals did about Trump and about Russiagate and all this other shit. You people can't get it right. And when you do, then this is how mini Trumps are created. Because of people like this. We can all agree that DeSantis is a shitty leader. And an even shittier human being. But Whoopi Goldberg, she ain't no Miss America herself, let me tell ya. She's not. And she's really no better. Because she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. She sits in front of the camera, barks shit at people, makes herself look like an ass on TV on a daily basis. Okay? Yes, that's exactly what DeSantis is. He's a sicko. He's a scumbag. But The View and other establishment media figures, they don't help the case. You want to know the real information about DeSantis? Don't go to The View about it. Independent news will tell you all about it. And even Jimmy Dore has also criticized DeSantis on numerous occasions, including his interference with Colombia. He's done that. Look it up on his channel. He's also said it on his Twitter account. Go to independent media and come to this channel because we are independent, whereas The View, ABC, MSNBC, and CNN and others are not independent. They are anything but. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up here because I gotta cut this here, and I gotta head to bed because I got an early start tomorrow. But I wanted to get on here and talk about this before the weekend because I just could not help but do this. I definitely didn't want to wait till Monday because this was just too good to cover. So anyway, I will be back Monday or at some point next week with more videos, streams, premieres, other content in the works. Stay tuned for more and more stuff on the way. This is Zach the Celtics guy saying thank you for watching. See you all again in the next stream, video, premiere, whatever it happens to be. It'll either be on Monday or sometime next week, but stay tuned, stick around, click that bell, hit that bell, and stay tuned, check all the notifications, and definitely hit that bell because YouTube tends to not notify people. If they don't, they might not. But either way, stay tuned for more. If you see it, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell, and see more from Zach the Celtics Guy's channel coming your way soon. Whoopi Goldberg, The View, and all you other idiots, get your shit together. To Jimmy Dore and other independent figures online, kudos to all of you. To all of you watching, see y'all again next time. Bye for now, take care, peace out, and have a good night. See y'all again next time. Peace out.